Welcome back to another UFC breakdown video. In this video, I'll be breaking down the heavyweight fight between Francis Ngannou and Jairzinho Rozenstruik. So without further ado, let's get to the breakdown, but first I'll start with the stats, and then I'll dive in deeper beyond the stats, below the stats, what's really down there, what is really factoring into this fight. But yeah, so now let's start with their records. Francis Ngannou is 14-3. Rozenstruik is 10-0. Ngannou has 4 better opponents, but he doesn't have the undefeated record. Rozenstruik really just stepped up, had his true step up in competition, and now he's 10-0. 10-0, and now he's really jumped to the true deep end of the fight. Of the heavyweight division. Matter of fact, he literally jumped a lot from Overeem to Ngannou. Like Ngannou was right there for a title fight. If he hadn't already lost to Stipe Miocic, it'd be like a declared title challenge. If he didn't lose to Stipe Miocic already, and Cormier wasn't in the picture, he would already be like having a title fight. But because he lost and because Cormier is there, he's not declared title challenger. That's the only reason. So he really jumped from maybe 5 or 6 in the rankings or that part of the fight till jumping to the guy that's literally right there in line for a title shot. So he really jumped a lot. That's all I'm saying. Now, average fight time. Ngannou has a 6 minutes and 5 seconds of average fight time. His average fight time is 6 minutes and 5 seconds. Rozenstruik's average fight time is 7 minutes and 52 seconds. So Ngannou been getting them out of there a little bit quicker. And Ngannou has more fights, so that says even more. The fact that he has more fights and still has a lower average. So that says he's consistent at getting people out of there. I don't think only fight he went to decision was Miocic. Everybody else was like first round knockouts. And then maybe 1 second round knockout. Yeah, so he's been putting people out of there. Height. The stats say 6'4" for both, but I know some stats say 6'2", and I've seen Rozenstruik in person, so I think he's really like 6'1", 6'2". He's barely 6'2". I would say he's probably 6'2" on a good day, really like 6'1", and Ngannou's probably fully 6'4", because I've seen Overeem in person too, and Overeem like 6'4", 6'5". The fact that Ngannou was around Overeem height, or at least roughly the same height and wider than him, I would say Ngannou was truly 6'4", and I would say Rozenstruik is probably giving up 3 inches of height, so height's definitely on Ngannou's side, regardless of what any stats say. Based on saying Rozenstruik in person, he's not 6'4" at all. He's not 6'3". He's barely 6'2", so he's like 6'1". Weight, Ngannou is 250. Rozenstruik is 242. I said that's pretty fair. I don't know what they're going to be on the weigh-in, the actual fight night, but whether Ngannou's going to continue to kind of trim or Rozenstruik's going to bulk up or somebody going to do this or that. But this is roughly where they'll be weighed at. Reach, 83 for Ngannou. 78 for Rozenstruik. That reach was certainly coming into effect for Ngannou having that longer reach. Was that like a 5-inch reach? That's significant. Both are orthodox. Rozenstruik does have the tendency to switch up when he does his blitz and go to southpaw. And then he has his right hand becomes even more dangerous, and then that left high kick it becomes even more dangerous. It becomes like a deadly combination. Date of birth: Ngannou was born in 86, and Rozenstruik is born in 88. I think one's like 34, 32. Or 34, 33, because Ngannou's birthday hasn't came yet. By the way, I don't think that's the biggest age difference. 2 years is not that big a difference unless one person like 38 and 40. Well, still, even then, it don't really matter. Except maybe if you're like 18 versus a 20-year-old or something, they've been out of high school for 2 years or something. But I don't know. 2 years is really not no big difference, no matter how you cut it. Unless they just 2 years past their prime, then it matters. But if both guys are in shape and at the top of the game, 2 years don't really mean much of nothing. Unless they are 2 years of training, you got 2 years of nothing. But really, unless it's some real special circumstances or something like that, 2 years don't really mean a lot of nothing. Grappling. Oh, well, let's go. It's more striking stuff. So, average strike landed per minute is 215 for Ngannou versus 372 for Rozenstruik. Strike accuracy is 37% for Ngannou versus 46% from Rozenstruik. And that's showing you that Rozenstruik is obviously the more technical striker. So he's cleaner with his striking, more accurate, and he sets the shots up better. Whereas Ngannou is more of a raw talent. He's certainly improving, he's certainly training, he's certainly evolving. But Rozenstruik has those years of kickboxing at the highest level behind his back. He has it in his back pocket. He has those skills, he has those experiences, and he has that experience. So that's showing in the stats. Strikes absorbed per minute, 1.97 for Ngannou and 3.05 for Rozenstruik. And Rozenstruik, I guess he gives up a lot of, his striking and defense isn't the best. It's certainly not the worst, but it certainly isn't the best. I guess he's more worried about defending takedowns than, I guess, taking strikes, because he knows he can take their strikes, and he's not going to take the heavy-handed strikes. He might take a jab, might take a light hook, but his absorption rate is like pretty high in comparison to his strike landed total. But you don't really see him take any real big punches. He usually is able to avoid them or roll with them. So yeah, it may be high, but you never really seen him hit with real clean with any punch in any of his UFC fights. Maybe in kickboxing, but UFC, you really haven't seen him tag with anything good. Defense, 48% for Ngannou, 32% for Rozenstruik, but I don't think you want to be hit by anything from Francis Ngannou. So that's certainly a factor against him. Like, yes, you can take some shots. I mean, you don't take no real good shot. I mean, you don't really get hit with no real clean flush shots or no real good power shots. Like, you're good at avoiding taking real good, significant damage in there. Even though the stats may say otherwise, you don't really take, like, he rolls with the shots, or he's never really in position to get hit by no big shots. But any shot from Ngannou was a big shot, so that's a worrisome. Grappling, really don't have to worry about it too much in this fight, but I think it might be a path to victory for Ngannou. His Rozenstruik's takedown defense still isn't the best, his grappling still isn't the best, and again, Ngannou will have advantage in the grappling, and he'll be the bigger, stronger man. I think he can pose as well in the grappling. Is his technique all that good, or is Ngannou really a grappler? No, but the fact that Rozenstruik is even less of a grappler, doesn't really have the best takedown defense. Well, they probably say, look, he has 75% takedown defense, but who really is taking him down? Or who has really shot that many shots against him? Because, like, it hasn't been like a fighter that really went out after the shots outside of over him, because other guys been getting knocked out in the first round. So, of course, that stat going to be high when everybody's getting knocked out in the first round. They didn't have the chance to really take you down. And he got taken down by Junior Albini and controlled for a little bit. So, his takedown defense still isn't that best. His grappling I still don't rate it high, even though his takedown defense is 75%. That is what I'm saying about that. Ngannou's a 71% takedown defense, but I think his takedown defense and wrestling defense is a lot better than shown. I think it mainly dropped because of Miocic. And I think Curtis Blade got like one takedown on him out of, 2 fights? And he struggled to get that. Or maybe he got 2 takedowns. But either way, he didn't do much with any of the takedowns he got. I think the only one who really had effective wrestling against him was Miocic. And I think the guy he fought in his debut. But outside of that, really nobody's been able to do anything with grappling against him. Now, and Jairzinho obviously not going to do anything with it. So, if anything, grappling, you would favor that to Ngannou. I want to see Jairzinho doing anything in the grappling aspect. But now we delve deeper into the fight. We get into the deep nitty gritty. So let's see what each of these guys brings. I'm going to start with Francis Ngannou, and then I'm going to go to the blue corner with Jairzinho. So first off, Francis Ngannou, what he bring is power in both hands. He has a lot of tools that we haven't really yet seen. Like, we see him practicing on knees and kicks and stuff. He does those kicks at times, but has he really been effective with kicks inside the octagon? Not yet. So if he brings those out, that could be dangerous. If he starts using teeps, prove on the jab, he could become a very long, rangy, powerful hitting killer, like a real tactical stab. Like, if he could improve on those teeps, prove on that jab, prove on that right hand, instead of just the overhand, he'll be a real scary man for anyone in this weight class. And start to really sit on his punches and not like just load up all the time. I mean, he always comes in technical for Blade. Like, he be sharp and short with Blade, like real chopping and real clean against Blade. But against Miocic, he got sloppy. Against a lot of other fighters, he kind of gets sloppy at times, especially against, or he got timid against, Derek Lewis. So, yeah, he certainly has height. But the height, the power, the build, the physique, the skill, the talent. But what he really brings is he's imposing, he's big, and he hits hard. His best shots are the overhand right, and the right uppercut. He does have some good hooks, but really his best shots are the uppercut and the overhand. He can definitely knock you out if you get off position with the hooks, but usually the hooks that set up the uppercut or the overhand. Those are his 2 best shots. And how do I see this fight going, or for Ngannou if he is to win? I think Rozenstruik presents a very good threat for him. Like, he presents a very good threat for Ngannou. Because Ngannou, hands are usually low. He's not a textbook fighter. A lot of shots are like wide and wingy shots. Uppercut, kind of short because it's usually a counter uppercut, or when his opponent is defending. So that's the good part of his uppercut. But sometimes he can kind of like lean back like a counter puncher, which can actually factor against him against a high level striker like Rozenstruik. But it's short. If he keeps it short, it can certainly be a good tool against Rozenstruik. What else? The overhand, like I said, Ngannou keeps his hand very low. That's very dangerous against Rozenstruik. And what I'm trying to say about this is that when you're fighting a guy that has a very good counter shot, like Rozenstruik with his left hook or his left check hook, or any real good counter fighter, the best way to beat them is to mix it up, feints, and volume. And also pressure. So you get on the inside, volume them up, mix it up, so they can't really get comfortable enough to really be thinking and try to counter, trying to outsmart you and try to walk into stuff. They too busy trying to deal with your output and your pressure. You can break down their counter ability or draw off their counter ability. But like so, especially feints, volume, those are the clearest ones. Feinting and volume, the clearest ones to draw off counter punches. Because you just throwing one punch, he could time that one punch. But you don't sticking the jab out there. That's another good thing. If you're doing a good jab, keeping it high, especially with Ngannou having to reach and height over Rozenstruik, and if he's able to stick that jab out and not have a low, weak jab, Rozenstruik gonna have a hard time reaching that left hook over the top of his jab. He might be able to beat the jab with speed, but if Ngannou's timing and distance is good, it's gonna be hard to match, beat the jab if Ngannou is not getting beat on timing or his punch is not making it first. So if they're both going at the same time, Ngannou's jab will reach before Rozenstruik's hook. That's what I'm saying. So for Ngannou to win this fight, I think he has to do something he hasn't really done in a while. I mean, really shown in his UFC career. And I think volume, mix it up, and stay pressure. And I also think he should throw some feints. And really, if it's not going to be volume, I think he has to definitely utilize that jab a lot more. He has to pepper Rozenstruik up with the jab. And Rozenstruik has a good jab as well. So it's going to be a hard battle to win for Ngannou in the jab aspect. Because you're going against a more technical fighter who has a solid jab. So you had to kind of beat his jab. But use the fact that you have that, 5-inch reach advantage over him? Or 4-inch? Yeah, 5-inch reach advantage over him. And use that length. Use that jab, stick it on him. Swell him up a little bit with the jab. And then come over top with the hook. Or use some teeps. Pretty much use all his reach to keep Rozenstruik at bay and beat him to the counter. So he's trying to counter you, keep your jab, stabbing him in the face with the jab, teeps to the body, and then get him to try to become aggressive. When he can't get behind it, really get his work behind the jab, when you're keeping him in your jab, he's going to get aggressive. Then when he gets aggressive, then you catch him, you counter him. So make the counter puncher become offensive. Because you're going to have him down on the scorecard behind jab. And Rozenstruik does get aggressive when he's behind on the scorecard when things are going his way. And when he gets aggressive, he switches stances. And that's when he comes with that right overhand and then the left high kick combo. So if Ngannou get him frustrated like that, then he could definitely catch him with the uppercut. So I think for Ngannou to win, be big, be imposing, be pressuring, keep the jab on him. Don't smother your own range, but utilize their range. Be at boxing range, but be at your own boxing range. Don't be at his boxing, kickboxing range. Keep the jab on him. Attack the body, attack low. And with the jab, set everything up behind the jab and try to throw in volume. I know Ngannou's not going to be out there throwing volume the whole time, but at least try to keep it like 2 shots at a time. Not the whole fight, but try to mix in there that you're throwing 2 shots or you're throwing a hook, throwing this and throwing that. You're not just throwing 1 shot. So pretty much Ngannou, pick up the volume, mix it up high-low, jab. Your jab is your best friend. Pressure is your best friend. Get him to react and then make him pay for it. Catch him with the uppercut or catch him with the overhand when you get set up behind the jab. So everything's set up off the jab. So in this fight, Ngannou's path to victory falls behind the jab. The jab will set everything up. Use that reach, use that height. If you need to, use that physique. I think that's like a hidden X factor or maybe a clear X factor, but that is an X factor for Ngannou if he chooses to use it. Use the size, use the strength, and grapple Rozenstruik, who has, at this point in his career, a grappling deficiency. And that could be a path to victory, but I think the path that he's likely going to choose is the path of the jab. Set everything up behind the jab. That will set up his uppercut, and that will set up his overhand, and that will see his path to victory. And I think if he does that, he should be able to get the fight finished within the first 3 rounds. It shouldn't go to the title fight. I mean, the championship rounds. It shouldn't go into the main event rounds. Well, it's not even going to be a main event round. It's a 3-round fight. But I think he should be able to get it done within the distance of 3 rounds. So that's Francis Ngannou's path to victory. Now to Jairzinho Rozenstruik. We have in this fight Jairzinho Rozenstruik. And I think he has a lot of good tools for Ngannou. Because Ngannou, like I was saying about Ngannou, hands low a lot of the times, kind of falling in a lot of times, especially when he gets too comfortable with his power or starts to feel himself too much. But he can, and another thing, as much as he feels himself, we have seen him timid against Derek Lewis because we were so worried about what Derek Lewis was going to do or what Derek Lewis was going to counter with. So he was timid. I think Rozenstruik could remind him of that and on a higher level. So when if when Ngannou starts to load up, or when Ngannou starts to drop his hands, that left counter shot will be there, because his hand's gonna be low, and you just bring it right over the top, and you can catch him on the chin. Whether you knock him out with it, drop him with it, or just tag him with it, he's gonna feel that. He's gonna be thinking about it. So if you can remind him of it, he's gonna be thinking about it, and that's gonna slow him down. That's gonna throw off his confidence, and then you can set up your offense, push him back, tack his legs, tack his body, throw your jab out there. So counter hooks, throw off his timing, make him uncomfortable, make him unsure of himself, and then start to work your offense, jabbing, kicks, switching stances, coming high, coming low. And also, you can get him to react. When Ngannou reacts, a lot of times he likes to drop his hands and try to counter with an uppercut. You can get him to a feint to get him to try to throw the uppercut. You can counter with like a follow-up with a head kick. And then his hands going to be low and he's going to be open for it. So use those high-level kickboxing skills to your advantage. But let me backtrack a little bit and say what Jairzinho brings. At first, like I did with Ngannou. So Jairzinho, he brings power in both hands, just like Ngannou. He's not as big as Ngannou, not as imposing as Ngannou. Matter of fact, he's not even really intimidating looking at all, but he does have that power. He does have those credentials. He has power in both hands, power in both legs. His best tools are his left check hook, or his left hook in general, and his left head kick. If he switches stance, also he has a very good jab. That's another thing, a good jab. And when he switches stance, he has a very good right overhand and a good left head kick. So very dangerous to do that right there. Like I was saying, so pretty much try to walk or set Ngannou to fall into your traps with your left hand traps. And that's really his path to victory, making Ngannou fall into the left hand traps. And once you start to get him to react or get him to worried about it, then set up your own offense. And that's his path to victory. It's pretty short, but that's his path to victory. He's not going to wrestle Ngannou. He's not going to fly an armbar Ngannou. He's not going to go out there and just manhandle Ngannou. He has to go out there and be the more technical fighter. That's his path to victory. Defensive traps, counters, get Ngannou to freeze up, get Ngannou to think, get Ngannou to worry. And then when Ngannou starts to get timid or at least react to your counters, then set up your own offense, press him, break him down, and then eventually you'll be able to get the finish. If you make him, whether you make him break down or make him overreact or make him do something out of character or do something off timing or something that's like off his, like pretty much you basically get him off his game and he does something off his game, then he'll be vulnerable. Like, so you can get him, be the offensive, finish him off on offense, or you can finish him on the counter. We haven't seen Ngannou finish or drop, but he certainly has the power to put anybody out, and anyone can be put out. There's no one that's superhuman. So Jairzinho has the power and the skills to put Ngannou out. And I think if he follows that path, that's his path to victory. And I think he can put Ngannou out within the rounds. And I think I see this fight going to knockout regardless of who wins. But so if Jairzinho follows that path, I see him getting a stoppage within the round. So for Ngannou, I see him, if he follows behind that jab, then he'll finish Jairzinho within the rounds, within 3 rounds. And if Jairzinho is effectively able to use his countering ability, use his technique, use his skills, walk Ngannou into strikes, break him down mentally, attack his confidence, then he'll be able to put him out within the 3 rounds. So that's my breakdown for this fight. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and come back for more videos. Peace.